All right, we're live. Welcome to another episode of 20 Minutes with Noco. Today we're going to talk about LLM SEO. SEO is dead, is what they have been saying for over 20 years, ever since I can remember. But there's always new stuff to SEO with, I guess. And one of them, of course, is LLM SEO. We're going to talk about that. Yar, you wrote a great article about it, a blog article on our website. But we can't get around the fact that there has been some, well, let's say turmoil in the Webflow community these past days. There were some service disruptions there. Luckily, it didn't really affect our customers to a minor degree, maybe, but a lot of turmoil, a lot of updates, a lot of status reports. What is going on with Webflow?
Well, hello there. Glad to be back. Yeah, I mean the past 4 days, I think now 4 days, it's been service disruption with Webflow. Luckily, it's not like the live or anything that's hosted. It's just the platform itself, the tool that has been disrupted. I mean, it's been. I think this is the most it happened. I've been using this platform for like 6 years now. I think this is the most that I've seen it get disrupted. We saw the team, like I know it's a bit bad like that to get disrupted, but we saw the team very actively trying to resolve, trying to keep everyone informed on social media, on email. They're trying to keep us all informed of what's going on. And they were being transparent about it. Like they were like, okay, it's we're still struggling. This is real. We're still trying. It's down, and we're on it. So I think that was very nice of them. Again, we've seen also lately, the past few months, there has been a lot of updates from Webflow's side on the platform itself. Great updates, by the way. Some are really, huge updates that are increasing productivity. I mean, one of them was the GSAP. We've discussed this before. Yeah. Because like they're working hard on it, and seeing this disruption, I mean, we can say it's thanks to their hard work, but also like now, I just saw that a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now it's back operational.
This is what we like to see. Yeah, this is what we like to see. We like to see the green here. Yeah. But, it wasn't smooth sailing for the back to building, but it wasn't for the it wasn't smooth sailing, particularly the last few days. And I agree with you. Webflow, by their CEO Linda Tong, but also just on their general accounts, has been very proactive in updating, and they were transparent. Even when they thought they had it under control, but there was another sort of disruption or a decrease in performance, they right away shared it. They didn't sort of beat around the bush. But as you can see, quite an active status log from Webflow. So these last couple of days were just about restoring services, increasing performance. But it was quite a big disruption. Let me unshare my screen here. Yeah, it was unlike anything we've ever saw. And then with all the updates they were shipping, they I can only imagine their team must have been in good vibes, good spirits with all the cool stuff being put out there. And then this happens. And, quite frankly, we don't know what the issue is, right? It also seemed like it might have something to do with with AWS, their hosting, their cloud provider. We don't know. I'm sure that they will report on it once they really, really understood the root issue. But more importantly, performance seems to be steady and up to its normal levels again. And, thanks to the Webflow team for solving it as quickly as they could. And of course, these things shouldn't happen. But I can't remember a time that it did happen for Webflow. I was always, we've always been blessed with like enormous stability. So
it's always been super good. Like this is the longest disruption. Like sometimes it used to happen for an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
get some disruption. But this time it's been big. And at the same time as well, like the amount of updates they released, they haven't released so many updates in such a short period of time before.
Yeah.
So it was also something that they have done before. I see they have released some reports, incident reports. So I'm going to be reading through those after this.
Oh man, that's gonna be your evening. That's gonna be your evening activity,
exactly.
right? Reading through status logs. All right. Well,
Exactly. See what's up. See what's happened. We need to know. We need to know.
We need to know. We need to understand. You
Yeah.
know what? And I'm sure that with all the learnings they get from this, they will put countermeasures in place to make sure that it doesn't happen in the
For
future. So yes, annoying. When I look at our customers, there were some minor disruptions, in the Slack channels, but luckily enough, and this is just this, quite frankly, this is also a bit of luck, right? That we weren't sort of pushing like extremely important stuff live or something. It was just minor disruptions in terms of publishing, and that took a little longer here and there. Still unfortunate. So let's hope this is not going to happen for a long time. But all things considered, this is it's not that old of a company, right? It's still quite young, and they are in full shipping mode. So rather have that and this learning in between, unfortunate as it is. So thanks to Linda and the entire team. We've been in close communication with our partner manager as well. I also received a specific letter from Linda Tong to the partners, apologizing and basically just being transparent about what has happened, and what they're doing about it. So as a family, we should move on from this, and I'm happy that we can now do that. Yeah. Anyway, Yar, let's move on to cooler stuff, because SEO is dead, is what they always say, and then it's all of a sudden alive again. And now with the LLMs charging through, what should you do with your website to make sure that you can be found by those LLMs? Because I don't know about you, but I used to Google every day, and that has been decreasing ever since ChatGPT came out. And now ChatGPT has these beautiful rich snippets when you look for something, when you look for a product, and you ask it, hey ChatGPT, give me direct links to buying stuff in the Netherlands or wherever, and you get these beautiful links, and hey, wow, this is actually now a search engine. And then I start using it increasingly more for all kinds of stuff. Like as you know, we're expecting a baby, so I was looking for like all kinds of baby stuff to buy, and ChatGPT would just spit it out. Otherwise, in the past, I would have just used Google for that. So what's happening here, and how can we make sure that our customers, which is mostly B2B SaaS, don't miss out on this stuff? Because it's moving so fast. What are the best practices here? And I have a feeling that you're going to tell something about that today. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. I've been digging into this a lot, and it's just pretty interesting how this changed very quickly. I see like it's not just ChatGPT, maybe like Perplexity, and even Google itself now has like an AI snippet that gives you an overview of what you want to look for. Yeah. So this has become, the dramatic shift across all search engines, or let's say any way you look for information on the web. Luckily now, Webflow has released the LLM.txt file upload ability. So, because I've been also digging into this before they released this, and I couldn't find a way to upload this LLM file in the right place within the project, because Webflow has the back end, of course, of where the files are hosted. And luckily they released it now, as you can see, July 23rd. That's last week. And it's great. Now you can just upload an LLM.txt file, which is basically a breakdown of the content that is on your page or on your website. So what happens is that the AI, when you ask it something, is going to go look through several pages, several websites, several resources of information. And if the website, let's say your page has a long page with a lot of content, it might not read the whole thing, because it might be going through some of it. Then because it has a limit of tokens, it might not go through the whole thing and it skips to the next one. Now, when you put an LLM.txt file, it has all that in a markdown format that is easy for the LLM to spot. It doesn't need to go through your CSS or your styles or your animations. It just needs to go through the content. It needs to understand what's there. And then it continues and gives you that in the search results. So the easier you make that to the AI, the more it can, understand your information and then give it out as a result. Now it's still something youngish. I mean, it's not been that long, so the results or the stats that we're getting, have still variables, but it's definitely helping. Break down your website, explain the information on your website. It's helping also with like making sure the website's like built in a way that you can explain. Okay, this part is for this part is for this, and it's broken down into well organized chunks.
Yeah, no, exciting development and something we've been keeping our eye on for a long time. And the funny thing here is it's fully in development, right? So the best practices are slowly but surely arising, but then again, everything will change and keep changing, just like the Google algorithm always did, right? Always changes, and then you can start basically from scratch, or you have to have new stuff, add new stuff to your SEO stack, I guess. But you wrote a nice article, a blog article about this new update to give it some more context, and also give it some more context that is more tangible for our ICP, B2B SaaS and tech startups and scale ups. Like, what can you do? What can you do right now, and how can we help you with that? And there were some interesting points in there. The article is, I think by the time we release this episode, it will be live on our website. We can link it, can put it in a newsletter. But I just want to go through a couple of points that you mentioned in the article. So if your site isn't crawlable or structured properly, AI may ignore it. Yeah, you want to jump in, or you want me to just finish the list?
I thought you were continuing that question, but
whatever
exactly.
you want, man. Whatever you want.
This is what I was saying. Like, it's if the AI doesn't find your website, it can't read the information. It has a lot of hurdles like CSS or unimportant to the search, which is mainly content focused. Mostly content focused. So if there's a lot of hurdles, it might skip your site and just like go on to the next one, because there is a lot of information it has to go through. Again, remember, like most of all the AI models has a limit of tokens, or has a limit of how much they can go through, or how many websites, how much of the websites they can go through. And so if this website is not structured properly, skip it, it goes to the next one. Now, what can we do right now? Great that Webflow has the LLM.txt file, and it's basically just you're explaining your website. You're just like putting a file that explains in plain text what's your website about, what's going on there, just in a simple format, and that's good for the LLM so that it can find it when it searches. Now with the features that you can do is basically, perhaps with an LLM you can draft a markdown file, an LLM.txt file, you export it, and then you upload it directly on Webflow, which has been great.
Yeah, that's very helpful, because also when you look at SaaS websites, for example, and this is also what you wrote in the article, that they can be very feature heavy, right? So as you mentioned, there's a limit of tokens for LLMs, crawling your page. So AI doesn't always know what content matters most to your audience. So you can basically give context there and prioritize certain things. That's basically what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's say my features, or the latest features, or the way I ordered my features, based on priority, how I want that to be portrayed as well. I mentioned in the article that there's sometimes where the AI just misunderstands your content, or gives it out in the wrong manner, like not the right information, because it misunderstood it or just got it wrong. And this is also a problem. So you make sure that, okay, this is the layout, this is how I structure my information, and then it understands this sort of things. And especially like with features and with pricing plans, let's say on SaaS websites and things like that.
No, I can see that clearly, how that would benefit. So obviously we're going to roll this out ASAP for our customers. So let's get together real soon after this episode and roll them out, and add some Trello cards in our subscription boards, because this is of course something that this is something that we need to push proactively to our customers, as we will. This is also basically why they hire us, to keep an eye on this stuff and make sure that they are first to adopt it when it helps them. So I'm excited about that. And also, to up the sample size a little bit. As you mentioned, it's super new. So we don't really have any like very reliable data on what this will do. And of course, it takes some time for the LLMs to pick it up and some volume to really have a conclusion there. So yeah, I'm happy that we have a nice bunch of customers to implement that, and then we can really gather some meaningful data there probably. So yeah, that's exciting. So on the, I don't know if you can answer this at this moment, right? Because it's also new. But on the LLM SEO side, what more should we keep an eye out for aside from LLMs? And this is probably not exactly your expertise, but say content-wise, for example, from your own experience, when you do a search query in ChatGPT, what is typically the type of content that comes up?
I mean, now it's whatever we knew back in SEO. I mean, the rules of SEO, let's say, is what the AI basically trained on. So this is how it searches for information based on what was already there by Google and by other search engines. So this we have to do, like optimizing your website, making sure it loads faster. You have backlinks, let's say for SEO, you have content on the net. So these stuff definitely help. The LLMs, give priority to your content. With addition to that, now we also see the simplifying part, because again, this is like limited search. There are tokens that it uses. It has like this manner. So it's all about now simplifying, making sure my content is understandable. There is not only a human that is interacting with it now.
Right.
There's like a very, very smart machine that comes interact with it, and if it doesn't like what it sees, it's just going to go away. So you need to make sure that you give it like everything in a simple, quick format. So it's just like, okay, this is what this site is all about. I can understand it. And again, like the more we optimize our site, the more it has like some sort of authority, like let's say link authority, we call it in SEO. And the more link authority there is, the more this is going to trust your site. It's going to be referenced if it reads your site on multiple pages. Okay, this site is trusted. It comes up.
Question. So thinking about this from first principles, right? So the fascinating thing here is really that LLMs, they actually understand your vision and your proposition, right? So if you're a company and you talk about your vision and your proposition and you contextualize it in, pages, articles, long form articles where you expand on your vision and give all these practical examples and really go into the nitty gritty of how that proposition would benefit your target audience. LLMs understand this. It's kind of the cool and scary thing. So for the first time, it truly understands what you're saying. So thinking of that, so wouldn't then be sort of long form content and blogs and stuff become, well, they said it's always important. They always said that blogs were like important, but I would reckon that long form content that really contextualizes who you are and what you offer, I think that's becoming even more important. Thinking logically about this and how LLMs work.
Yeah, definitely. There's gonna be like now to stand out, you have to make so many posts. You have to make so much content on the web, just to be able to, like, let's say, appear in the first result in a Google search about agencies. That's like super hard. Where it's going now, I mean, but at some point it's going to be so much content on the web. At some point we're going to hit a place where there's so much content, very hard to rely on. The AI will be our only salvation, our only way to look through this content. And then, I don't know.
And then the question is, so we kind of rely on the LLM to scan all that content and to pick the best, I guess, whatever that means, but the best content. So, I mean, the positive angle here could be that the best content will win, right? I mean, that's the positive angle of it. The best explanation of a proposition or of a feature or whatever, or a use case will in a perfect world that will win. So it's interesting.
But then we're back at SEO, right? This is the same as SEO.
Yes,
It's just the
yes.
same. It's just more advanced, I guess.
Everything seems to go in circles. It's just the volumes they increase a crazy amount, and just, I don't know. It's interesting, but my advice for now would be to just follow your instincts and be very ICP focused, I guess, as an advice to our customers in what you write and the content you provide. Be very outcome based. Be very pain point specific. Yeah, and then you should be all right. And then it's up to us to make sure that, technically speaking, your website is findable, accessible, searchable for those LLMs. There's one other thing that comes to mind, Jar, that we have been looking into already for a while now, is that I know that we're now talking about LLM.txt, but there was also already a best practice for your Robots.txt file to add some agents in there, because to my understanding, LLMs, they actually, when they browse the web, they act as a sort of a browser. So this is something we have been doing for a little while now, to add those agents, those browser agents, into our Robot.txt files. How is that? What's your take on that?
I mean, also that was a best practice for SEO purposes. It's been there for a while. I think it's been there for ever since this started. Again, it's just the LLM.txt file will be like an addition to that, but it's the main explanation. The robot was like, it was the user agent where you can allow it on certain links or disallow it on other links. But yeah, when it comes to the sense of what the agents or the LLMs read, the LLM.txt file definitely has it's much better to have that now. Such a great advancement that they made.
It's more specific, and let's see if we can maximize it. There's one thing before we wrap this up I want to show you, also related to LLM SEO, I guess, which is a LinkedIn post I came across. Let me share my screen here. It gave me a little bit of a scare for a moment, and I'll show you why. So here it is. Yeah, so this guy, Jean Bonifant, I think he's an SEO expert. Yeah. So he So he announced that Google is now indexing shared ChatGPT conversations. So it gave me a little bit of a scare because I shared quite a bunch of them, with colleagues and stuff like that. Well, he was truly going for shock value, because what he forgot to mention, probably intentionally, is that you have to obviously toggle it to be discoverable and to be indexable. So there's a fail safe there. So I said to him, like, nice shock value post, but a complete dick move to exclude this, because a lot of people were scared in the comments, like, what the fuck. Yeah. Anyway, the interesting thing here is of course, and this is his message, like, this is a gold mine, right? Because these conversations are so contextual. There's, like, looking at my own ChatGPT workflow, there's so much context build up in that sort of hive mind that I have been creating by talking about to such a large and detailed extent what Noco does, what we do for our customers and stuff like that. It's of course interesting that you can just put all those conversations, well, not recommended to take lightly, but all those threads and all those canvases. I'm not sure if you can actually put canvases to be indexable, but all those threads on findability, on scrapability, then you can literally flood results in Google with ChatGPT output. I'm just saying this will be abused 100%, right? With people going on a programmable SEO streak, and then they get punished again when they abuse it. But I'm just saying, like, imagine all that LLM content being indexable, not just by Google, but also by the LLMs themselves. That's what you're getting. Yeah. That's what you're getting as well. What do you think you can do with those indexable pages? It's probably a quick way to flood the internet with a lot of specific content about certain topics. Like, you don't have to upload it. You don't have to. I'm not sure. It seems like this is one of those tricks that they used to use, where you, like, in the spirit of having a website with a white background and then putting all those links there, with the text in white as well, so you don't see them, like, when that was allowed. It seems like a gimmicky thing, like that people are
Yeah,
going
like
to
a
use
trick,
it for.
like a cheat code.
Yeah, until the internet or whichever company catches up, and they will penalize you for it, and then you will be in SEO purgatory again. But no, it was an interesting announcement. I was like, yeah, okay, wow, so they're going to index this now. Okay, yeah. Wonder where that's going to end up.
Yeah, there's like this thing now with the AI content being everywhere. On social media, for example, AI content is just taking over video content, image content, text content. It's just becoming too much, I think, at this point. And
This is where
companies like
people,
YouTube YouTube is like
yeah,
is gonna penalize no more AI content getting monetized, which is great. Keep the AI
I think
content,
so.
but don't monetize it, which is okay. It makes sense.
I think so.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a bold
it's
move,
heading.
but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a very good move.
it's a bold move, but it's a good move. Probably you have to do something there because I mean it's. I'm not saying that you can't make great content without the AI help, and I still need to get into how they actually assess that. Like, is it full blown AI content like that they penalize, or is it also because you have a lot of great content creators, with YouTube channels who use. Like for example, as B-roll footage, use AI-generated footage. I think that can be very helpful to support you telling your story, right? So, do you know more about that? What is their criteria for it?
I'm not sure actually, but right now, when you upload videos on YouTube, you have the option. Like you have a question: is there
Yeah,
has been altered content in your video, and you
yeah,
have to specify that. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not, but I don't think it would be fair to penalize everyone who uses. Like if I use a B-roll or something.
yeah.
But then again, as well, it won't be fair to the actual artist who go out and film this B-roll. Uh, you know, so
It's
it's
a
like let's see. I don't know. It's a tough one.
it's a tricky one to navigate for sure. But
Yeah.
okay, well, let's keep an eye on it. We're well past the 20-minute mark. That's okay
Yeah.
because it's just the name. And
Nice.
thanks for the update. I enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon with the next one. The blog article about LLM TXT that we covered is again live on our website once this episode comes out, and then we'll be sure to link it under this video as well. You can also go to our website, subscribe to our newsletter. We will share it there as well, and much more cool updates from the Noco side. Anything about design for B2B SaaS and tech, high converting websites, and of course, websites built in Webflow and anything that comes with it. Thank you, Yar, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye-bye.